Imagine Horror Network, the official horror stories channel.
Let's play house. Young Susanna lived with her family in a small town near the mountains. One day while walking home from school, Susanna came across an abandoned playhouse on the edge of town. She went in to investigate and found an old porcelain doll with glassy gray eyes staring at her. She was immediately drawn to the doll and decided to take it home. When she got home and showed it to her parents, they warned her about keeping it. Still, Susanna was determined and she kept it in her room. At first, Susanna thought the doll was just a toy. But after a few days, strange things began to happen. Every night when she was in bed, she could hear the doll laughing and moving around. She also heard strange noises coming from the attic. But it wasn't until one night that she fully realized what the doll was capable of. She woke up to find the doll standing in her bedroom, watching her with its glassy eyes. She screamed and ran out of her. From then on, the doll haunted Susanna's every move. Every night she heard strange whispers coming from its direction. At times she thought she could hear it speaking to her.
Don't be scared.
Susanna was scared and wanted to get rid of the doll, but no one would believe her. Everyone told her she was just imagining things. Things got worse when Susanna began having the same nightmare every night. In her nightmare, she would find herself in a dark alley and she would see the doll coming towards her, ready to kill her.
If you don't come play with me, then we will kill you.
Susanna wondered if these nightmares were a warning sign. But who could she? It wasn't long before the village started buzzing with rumors about a strange creature stalking the night. People started claiming that several of the locals had been killed by an unknown monster. A terrified Susanna realized that the strange creature was in fact the doll and it was responsible for the deaths. Susanna's family was determined to stop the doll. They formed a plan and set out to track it down. But they were too late. The doll had already killed several people in the village and it was getting bolder by the day. Susanna's family was relentless in their pursuit of the doll. They resorted to all sorts of tricks to lure it out of hiding. Finally, after weeks of searching, they tracked it down to an abandoned cottage on the edge of the woods. Susanna's family confronted the doll and a fierce battle ensued. But the doll was no match for their courage and determination, and they were able to subdue it. The family then decided to burn the doll alive to make sure that it would never haunt anyone again. The family set fire to the doll and burned it to ashes. They then went home, relieved that their nightmare was finally over. The villagers who had been terrorized by the doll were also thankful that it was gone. They all said their goodbyes and bid farewell to the doll. In the aftermath of the ordeal, Susanna's family decided to move to a different town. They wanted to start a new life and put the terrifying experience behind them. They sold their house and packed their belongings, and soon, the doll was nothing but a distant memory. As for Susanna, she was determined to never forget the lessons she had learned from the experience.